While we were at Cinegear 2025, I caught up with Matthew at the Canon booth to check out their newest cinema cameras, the EOS C400 and the C80. Both feature Canon's latest 6K full-frame sensor with triple base ISO, built-in Wi-Fi, Frame.io integration, and metadata output for virtual production. Here's what Matthew had to show us. All right, so we're here with Matthew Irving from Canon, and he's going to show us a little bit about his products.
Yes, thank you for coming. Thanks for visiting the Canon booth at Cinegear 2025. We've got the great weather going on here.
Oh, yeah.
Nice to be under a tent, though, and not out in the bright sunshine. But we have our C400 camera, and we've also showing off our C80. And they both have the exact same 6K full-frame sensor as each other, but just different form factors.
Full frame means the sensor is the same size as a 35mm film frame, bigger than Super 35 and a lot closer to what your natural eye sees. Both the C400 and the C80 are rocking the 6K full frame sensor, so they'll give you more detail, wider shots, and a shallower depth of field. But the bodies are different. The C400 is built more like a beefy studio rig, while the C80 is compact and documentary friendly.
So here in front of us we have the EOS C400 with one of our flex zooms. This is one of our all-manual cinema zooms. This one covers full frame. We have two that cover full frame and two that cover Super 35.
Canon's flex zooms are cinema-grade zoom lenses that are fully manual. No autofocus, no auto iris. They're made for precision control. What's amazing is they perform optically like a set of prime lenses, sharp, fast, and consistent. So instead of switching lenses between shots, you keep the same lens on and adjust your frame with the zoom without compromising quality.
And that's all manual. We actually have this one fully rigged out with a C-motion fizz control, so you can do focus, iris, zoom with the motors that are hooked up.
Fizz stands for focus, iris, zoom. Three things you usually control by hand on a lens. A fizz system automates those with motors, giving you remote control. Super helpful on gimbals, cranes, or car rigs where no one can physically be touching the lens.
It's got all industry standard gears on here so that you can use any of the fizz controllers.
That's a huge lens.
It is.
It's so
it is. Actually, the flex zooms are my favorite glass that Canon has ever manufactured. Really, it's like hanging a whole set of primes on your camera because they're very fast and optically behave like prime lenses. But the C400 itself is great because this camera, the new sensor, allows it to have triple base ISO. Triple base ISO.
We've covered this in other videos, but base ISO is the sensitivity sweet spot for your camera sensor, where you get the best image with the least noise. Most cameras have one. Canon C400 and C80 have three. This means that the camera can adapt to different lighting situations and still give you clean footage. It's like having three native exposure settings to choose from. One for daylight, one for low light, and one for near darkness. Here's the trick. If you need ISO of 6400, don't push up from 800. That creates noise. Instead, choose the higher base of 12800 and dial down to 6400. You'll get a much cleaner image because you're working within the sensor's optimized sensitivity range. Think of it like driving downhill versus flooring it uphill.
So very good in low light, and we have a good little demo back here in the booth showing it off a little bit. You have base 800, 3200, and 12,800.
Okay, wow.
We have got two of the same model camera here. We've got two EOS C80 cameras that both have the triple base ISO that these sensors are offering. And both of these cameras right now are being shown on this monitor. And they're both shooting at the working ISO of 6400. However, the camera on our left is going up to 6400 from a base 800, which used to be the only base that our cameras offered. The camera on the right here is coming down to 6400 ISO from a higher base of 12,800. These cameras are offering 800, 3200, and 12,800 as their three bases. So you can see there's a lot more noise in the image if you work above your base and punch that 800 all the way up to 6400, as opposed to picking a higher base and working below it. So that's what you always want to do with these cameras. That's kind of the key to these cameras, is that you want to work at your base or below your base for the cleanest image.
Yeah.
But if you're working at your base, you're resetting that dynamic range and getting everything the sensor has to offer at each of those three bases.
Yeah, and you can really tell the difference with there's so much more noise on this one than
Yes,
on
in the
that one.
shadows you can really see that working above the base is
Yeah,
not going to be
yeah.
as ideal as coming down from a higher base.
So cool!
And then we're also showing off the fact that we have Wi-Fi compatibility, a Wi-Fi built into the camera with Frame IO compatibility. So you can record 6K raw 12-bit on board the camera.
Wow, okay.
And you can send a HD proxy file to the cloud in real time while you're shooting. As soon as you hit stop on the clip, that clip will populate to Frame IO, and your editor 3,000 miles away can start working with the footage. You can be getting feedback from a client or a producer who's off-site. It's a great communication hub.
So you don't have to like spend hours offloading at the end of the shoot. Then.
Exactly. Well, you're still going to want to do that with your master footage, but now people are already commenting on the footage and working with it. So exactly right. It cuts off some of that
time.
workflow.
Yeah, that's great.
And we're also we have, through these lenses and the camera's built-in Canon virtual protocol, these lenses contain metadata that can come out of the built-in Ethernet port directly into whatever software is driving a virtual environment, something like an Unreal Engine or that kind of software. And it will react real time to your focal length on zoom lenses, to your focus distance, and even the lens distortion data. All of that is embedded. And so your virtual environment can react to that metadata that's coming through from the camera and the lenses. So it's a camera that really ticks a lot of boxes, and it's kind of as rugged as it needs to be for documentary shooting, and it has all the features built in for any kind of narrative shooting that you'd want to do with it. And we're really happy to have like this whole community coming through here at Cinegear and checking it out.
Yeah, well, Canon like never disappoints, I have to say. It's really impressive. Well, thank you
so much.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming by.
Thank you. From real-time cloud proxy uploads to detailed lens metadata for virtual workflows, it's clear Canon is building tools for both today's shoots and tomorrow's pipelines. Follow us, we talk about movies.